Today we find out if you really need to spend 80 bucks on a Deadpool figure or if you can just be a baller on a budget. So yes, obviously this is Deadpool 2, this is Deadpool, but today this is about comparing $80 s.h.figuarts to $20 knockoffs. How do you know it's a knockoff? Usually because this seal is missing. Look, you don't have anything like that. All it says is this Bandai, but it's pretty close. Box-wise, it's a little beat up because, well, AliExpress. Who cares about the box? It's all garbage anyway. Let's open this thing and see if it's any good. So far, it's just like an $80 figure where when you open the box, you can take the figure out. Let's see if everything else is the same. Okay, here's all the accessories out of the packaging. That's really dark. Let's see if we can brighten them up. That's a really dark figure. But the thing is with this Deadpool is that it's a darker figure by default because it's the second movie. Okay, so there's gonna be some differences between this and the other one, but just touching it is already like yucky. The biggest reason I even bought this is because Vexen Toys hit me up and said, hey, if you need some effects and guns and holsters and stuff, you could also go with this Deadpool 2 from AliExpress, because check this out. All of these effects, you got blast effects, smoke, basic, and then holsters, which is great because notably the first version of this Deadpool does not come with the holsters and guns, which is a really awful downside to the first movie version. This one doesn't have them. See, they're missing. Everything else is the same. So all of these accessories, well, plus this collar, are the same with the other figure. So it really just comes down to the color of him that changed between the first and the second one. This one really is missing paint, so it's just basic plastic. But let's get into it, okay? We got a lot to talk about. Potentially, I mean probably, because I'm gonna compare things. Anyway, is it good? Let's start with one of the swords. So this one right here is the official one that came with the first movie version, and it's s.h.figuarts. The touch and feel is a little bit different, but you don't know that because you're not touching it. You're just watching this video. Sorry. Let's focus on this knockoff. So the paint app around the hilt, I don't know, the handle, the guard, that is pretty sloppy. Like that should just be black there, but it's like silver on the bottom and red on the, so it's kind of cheap. It's fine. For the most part, it's $20. I'm not gonna be that upset about it. Now this part, which attaches to his back, which has these fake handles in place. This is the official one right here. Feels fine, it's just basic black plastic. And then the knockoff, which doesn't have any text on the inside, which could be a bonus, but it has this, it's not cared for that well, so that's kind of gross. It's almost got like a shiny finish. It's really cheap looking. And everything else otherwise is the same. Okay, moving on. The replaceable holster for the side of his leg that you put his knife into, and the knockoff one, which again just has like this cheap finish, whatever. It's also, you know, more noticeable in the camera versus your eyeballs. I think most people are gonna be fine so far. Here's the official dagger, looks fine, good paint, and the knockoff, which has this awful piece just sticking off the edge of the blade. So you can see the quality is certainly not the same. What's next? You wanna talk about one of these eyes? Fine, let's talk about one of these eyes, you jerk. This is the official one, which is fine. It's got some basic white paint on there, looks good. And with the knockoff, you can see that the white paint is not nearly as saturated, it's not nearly as thick, but it's probably good enough. This is the official hand, which is the relaxed hand, looks good. It's very clean and simple. And this is the knockoff, which is just kind of a mix between matte and gloss. They're just sloppier. But I mean, look, 20 bucks at the end of the day. So far, so good. You get what you pay for, honestly. Hello?
You're buying stuff from AliExpress now just to make content? That's pretty sad.
No. I legitimately thought people would be interested in this video.
You could put a little bit more effort into it. It's really not even that creative anymore. Why don't you fix it? Besides, you need to clean up that desk.
Wait. Who are you?
Well, it's just me.
Right here, from the future.
So how do I approach all of this differently? I don't know yet, but I'm always thinking of new things and trying to figure this all out. Also, I would love to find someone to take over editing for me. Are you good at editing? Do you want to do this? You let me know. We need to take a look at these things to see if this was worth grabbing. So you got a pistol with the blast effect in the end of it. I like this. This looks really good, especially with your human eyes. This is totally fine. Cameras are gonna pick up a lot of details that otherwise you might not. This pistol with the smoke, again, it's totally fine. This is doing exactly what I wanted it to do. So if for nothing else, I'm having a good time already. The basic pistol, again, it's fine. It's got 2 colors on it. Problem being, the same thing that Vex told me when his arrived, is that you get 2 left side holsters. So if you put the gun on his right, it's gonna be backwards. So if you're buying the set to get the holsters and the guns, it's still kind of messed up. Let's look at the figure itself to see. Oh God, it just feels so awful. It feels so cheap in my hands. All right, let's see. It's got no paint really, other than like silver and brown. Everything, well, I don't know, black, I guess. But it seems to be just a red plastic, and then the other colors are added on. But it's just so gross feeling. It feels cheap and hollow. The finish on everything, as you can see, just like we saw with the other pieces, you got all these chunks and nasty bits, but they still painted all the little buckles and things. It's just weird. But articulation, I don't know. It seems to have all the same points of articulation, like butterfly joints and everything. It's just really, really cheap plastic and probably really cheap joints, which we'll take a look here in a second. It looks like it has double jointed elbows, but they're just single joints. So that's a little weird. It's just that's it. You did it. Just a little bit of crunch, nothing crazy. The splits, the legs, he's got, I don't know what kind of joints they're going on here at the knee. So again, it looks like double jointed, but they're not really. They're just like on a circular base. Still has toe articulation, which is pretty wild. But can he get into some dynamic poses? Certainly with limitations, because we already saw that these joints are going to be a problem. So how do you get these eyes out? It comes with the tool, the same tool that the official one comes with. However, you can't go from the inside of the head like you can with the s.h.figuarts. You have to actually go from the outside, which means you're picking at the plastic, and that's gonna cause chips and weird crevices and stuff. So that's awful, really bad. We didn't look at this because this is the first time we've seen it, but you get the mutant collar, which takes away their powers because it's from the second movie. But now Rogue can actually have a relationship with Gambit. This is, hello, come on. You solved your problems. You don't need to go to Magneto, that jerk. And some of the key differences too is like the details behind the joints here are the wrists. They're much tighter on the official s.h.figuarts, which gives it a cleaner look, and then they stick out all weird on the knockoff. And again, the elbows, like you got double jointed versus 90 degrees. Isn't this great? Oh boy. Oh no. We have the multiverse is here, folks. Okay? This Wade Wilson's not as cool as this one, however, they still like to boink. Certainly more articulation on the official one, plus the look and feel of it is so much nicer. The plastic finish on this one, on the knockoff, is pretty gross looking, but that's also when you compare them side by side. And that's what the problem's gonna be with the holsters, right? So you have the gun set up the correct way, and then you have it backwards on this side, unfortunately. However, is this something that you can be a baller on a budget? $20 for an action figure. I mean, that's cheaper than Marvel Legends, and it gets shipped from China. Will this thing hold up over time? Probably not. I'm sure something will pop off or whatever, but at the end of the day, you could probably just buy another one if it goes bad. I mean, shoot, you could buy 4 of them for the price of the original, plus this is a lot easier to get a hold of. In photos, it's probably gonna be fine. If you're just taking pictures of your collection, if it's on the shelf, if you're trying to do photography and stuff, you might be able to get away with some things. You'll probably have to Photoshop some of the nasty bits off of it. But hey, if you've only got $20 to buy a figure and you need a Deadpool and you want a bunch of accessories and stuff, is it worth it? Yes. Buy the $20 one. I don't care. It's not my money. You're not me. At the end of the day, if I was to gonna, I mean, I did buy both of them. But if I was to I'm gonna buy the official one because it just feels better. The quality's there, the paint, everything. I know it's gonna last potentially longer than this one. If you're a fan and you want a Deadpool that's movie accurate, 1/12 scale, so a little bit smaller than Marvel Legends, spend the 20 bucks, get it. Be happy, okay? And if you enjoyed this review, then click the top one to watch the full s.h.figuarts Deadpool review and see how it works with all the other figures like Wolverine. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.